What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this brand new 2022 two-door Jeep Wrangler. Big shout out and thank you to Feeney, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this new Jeep for today's video. Take a look at their website, link down below. They have a huge selection of brand new Jeeps. And the model that we're looking at today is the Willys 4x4, finished off in bright white and has an MSRP at $48,900. Underneath the hood, this two-door Jeep Wrangler features the 3.6-liter naturally aspirated 6-cylinder engine. This V6 pumps out 285 horsepower with 260 pound-feet of torque. It's also paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and of course this is a 4-wheel drive vehicle. Running on a 17.5-gallon fuel tank, you're also looking at 20 miles per gallon in the city with 24 out on the highway. The overall curb weight is around 4,000 pounds, and it can even tow 2,000 pounds. The overall length is 166.8 inches with wheelbase at 96.8. Height is 73.6 inches with width at 73.8 inches. The Wrangler is known for its off-road capabilities. Approach angle is 41 degrees with breakover angle at 25 degrees. Ground clearance is 9.7 inches with departure angle at 36 degrees. And then now moving on to the exterior styling with this 2022 Jeep Wrangler, the Willys edition is going to have a lot of the gloss black trim all around to give it a more unique look. If I go ahead and hit the unlock button, you can see the LEDs on the headlights. We get a really cool ring around them, the center beam right in the center, and then we get a nice DRL on the front fenders. You can see the full plastic black front bumper with gloss black trim around these LED fog lights. There's a little bit of a plastic piece underneath for a skid plate / wind deflector, and then we get metal tow hooks up above. You can see the full gloss black grille with the traditional vertical slots right in the center. Of course, this looks like your typical Jeep, very traditional design. You can see the manual hood latches on the far left and right side, of course with the name Willys spelled out in black vinyl. On the top of the hood, you can also see a really nice sharp body line. Then you get the rubber bumpers. When you fold down the windshield, it has a safe place to rest. Really good design all the way up front. And as we make our way to the side profile, the two-door is extremely short and stubby, much different looking than the four-door Unlimited. You can tell this is a really short wheelbase, off-road focused Jeep. We get a really nice set of off-road tires and a nice 5-spoke satin black wheel. You can even see the old school design for the Jeep logo, and these measure 17 inches in all 4 corners. You can get a good look at the front suspension. It is a solid front axle vehicle. Then we get the plastic black for the fender flares. We get a black trim piece with a nice body line behind it. Jeep and Wrangler is all finished in black. You can see the exposed door hinges, and then plastic black for the mirrors as well as the door handles. This does have the optional 3-piece plastic black roof. It is fully removable as well, same with the doors. And this also gets a set of rock rails down below. There's a sharp body line going from underneath the side mirrors all the way through to the taillights. And the rear windows are pretty large as well. If we take a look at the rear now, the rear fender flare flows its way into this rear bumper. It's all plastic. You can see the hinges with 4-wheel drive sticker and a nice set of red taillights with some plastic trim around them. Down below that, we do get a trailer hitch and all the connections, and then a metal tow hook on the far left side. We also get a full-size spare tire on the back with the backup camera right in the center. Third brake light is above that, and it's even adjustable to accommodate larger tires. We have the release handle, and then your gas cap on the far left side. So there's a good look at the exterior with this Willys edition Jeep Wrangler. Really nice with the black and the white. And then I just drove the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo version, so it'll be interesting to drive this now with the V6 and kind of compare the two. So keeping the truck locked, it does have remote start. If you go ahead and double tap it, it'll automatically start up the engine, which is a really good feature to have. You can hear it start up. Pretty quiet, of course, for the V6. Tapping it once more, it shuts off. And then you can just grab the door handle, it automatically unlocks, and we can check out the interior. This trim level gets a full black interior with fabric seating, and there's also a little bit of silver accents. The door panel's finished off in black. You get some padding for the armrest and a grab handle on top. There's even a secondary grab handle to help you when you remove these doors. And then we get a really large cargo area down below, lock and unlock mirror controls, and your release handle, and then the cable connecting inside to where you can unplug the doors. We do get manual controls for the seating. You have your recline strap as well as the up and down and lumbar. Then a pretty basic design for the fabric. Smaller bolsters on the bottom and back, going all the way up to the headrest. Then we do get a black leather steering wheel with black stitching and the Jeep logo. And then now sitting inside the Wrangler, keep my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. You can see the Jeep going across the screen and the big image going from the old school one all the way to the new one. We get your tack on the left side with your transfer case, and then the speedometer over on the right with an LCD screen right in the center with engine temperature and the fuel. We have a pad on the left side to control the center screen. If I scroll down, you can see vehicle information and swipe through it to see all sorts of different vitals coming up with the engine. You can also continue down for off-road settings for your drivetrain as well as the pitch and roll. Then we have some information for trip and fuel economy, and then a few more things going all the way back to our main screen. Along the steering wheel, we do get cruise control over on the right side, some Bluetooth controls, then audio and radio controls are on the back side of the steering wheel. We get the turn signal stalk on the left side, and then all the wiper blades over on the right. And then headlight controls on the left of the steering wheel, along with interior dimming. You can see some of the silver trim and one of the air vents. You get speakers up top, a little bit of storage, and then more of that silver color for the airbag cover. We get a Wrangler name written out with this cool grab handle, then the 8.4-inch touchscreen display. This is an optional upgrade. Really nice display. You can see all the radio information, climate controls, very nicely dual temperature. Fan speed is in the center. You can also adjust this button, heated seats and steering wheel, shortcut to your backup camera, which is really HD, which is nice to have. We have your apps icon right in the center. You can see all sorts of different things that you can adjust within the Jeep. Then we also have a navigation system, the map and everything, phone integration, and then your various settings. If you tap the off-road pages, this will open up. And you can see your transfer case information along with your steering angle, coordinates of the truck. You have gauges that will pop up as well to monitor, and even a larger pitch and roll meter. And then of course, if I do put it into reverse, the backup camera automatically will pop up. Back into park now. You have physical climate controls down below. When you make any adjustments, they will come up on the screen so you can easily see everything changing. Along these controls, you also have your heated seat and steering wheel shortcut, recirc and air conditioning. You can see the volume on off on the left with tuning and scrolling on the right side, a screen off icon. This one right here with a little image of a Wrangler two-door is your slow speed cruise control. You also have traction control and the engine start stop feature. You have your two window switches right in the center, and then you even get a 12 volt on the left side and then some media controls on the right with 3 different plugs. We do get auxiliaries down below if you want to add some winches or lights. The truck's already ready. Then you even get a little bit of storage. You get the old school Jeep on the top of the shifter with a little bit of leather. Then your manual selector for the transfer case going all the way down into 4-wheel drive low. We get your manual park and brake right in the center, along with 2 cup holders and an area to put a cell phone or the key fob. Then if I open up the center console, we have a little bit of storage space, and then grabbing the second one, we have even more storage space with a USB port. The glove box and the center are both lockable. You can see we have a nice bag here with some tools and accessories. Pretty good amount of space back in there. So this is the JL Wrangler. This is the newest generation, been out for about 4 or 5 years now. Pretty nice overall, nothing fancy or anything, but it does give you a nicer feeling than the JK. And then up top you can see speakers along with the dome lights, all the latches. To undo both of these panels, you can very easily remove the roof with all of these unlocked, and then of course pull the whole rear off. The two-door Jeep Wrangler still does get you back seats. If you grab the handle on the back of the front seat, you can roll this forward and then slide it out of the way. You get a pretty decent amount of space to get back here. It is only a 2-seater back here, and you don't really get too many amenities, kind of sparse back here. However, there are climate control vents in the center, and then you can even see cup holders down below. So then now sitting in the back of the two-door Wrangler, it's not quite as nice as the four-door. There's not really that much room. Seats don't recline or anything. You do get a pretty large window and obviously a lot of headroom. Of course, when you take the roof off, it's a really cool experience. From here though, I can grab the seat, slide it back and lock it into place. Even with me, 5'11", with the driver's seat set at my height, it's still decent back here. You can do it. You're kind of off-center with the actual seat in front of you, so your knees aren't quite in the center of it. You don't really have an armrest on the left side either or in the center, so that's decent back here. And then of course I can easily grab that to slide it out of the way. So a full grown adult, it's not the best, but at least you have the extra space. And then moving to the cargo area, if I grab the handle and open it up, this will swing outwards, and we even get all this cool information on the side here for the two-door and four-door. You can then manually grab the glass and lift this up. We got the gas struts to assist it. You do get a little bit of space back here. It's not too bad. You can probably stack maybe 4 duffel bags or backpacks. There is a subwoofer down here, all weather, so it's really cool. Water and stuff can get on it. You can still grab this open, see a little bit more of that, and you have this spot for all the hinges and bolts and all the hardware from the roof and doors or windshield when you take them down. From here, to fold down the back seats, you can just grab this plastic lever, it'll unlock it, you can push it forward, the headrest will even fold down, and then once it's all the way down, it kind of lifts up on its own with a spring assist and gets out of the way. And now you have about the same space as the Unlimited is going to give you. There is a 12 volt and an LED back here. They don't really stay up too well, they can fall backwards. And then if we go in through the side, you get a little bit of space underneath them and see how they're sitting. However, I'm sure there is a way to at least keep them down, that way they're not going to be out of the way. But with them down like this, you can use this as a pretty good load area. All right, so setting off now in the two-door V6 Wrangler on a little bit of a tiny trail. Obviously, this is an extremely capable off-roader, but getting up to speed on the road, you know, the V6 is not that bad. So I just got out of the turbo. That definitely has more of that low-end grunt, and it packs a really good punch down low. The turbo torque is just really nice to play with. This one's a little bit more sluggish. However, it's really not that bad. You know, it's not that heavy of a vehicle, and it's fine. You know, this is an Advocate engine. Really can't complain too much for what it is. So driving this on the road, the visibility is really cool in a Wrangler. I love how you can see the entire hood. You can even see the front fender. You can really pinpoint where this thing is hitting the trails. You have a lot of glass to see out, and over your right and left shoulder, you pretty much have no blind spots. I mean, honestly, it's such a short vehicle. The back is right there. So really good view around. It's a little noisy on the road. We're going 50. You know, you can kind of hear, these are pretty aggressive tires. You can kind of hear them just slightly, and you hear the wind, just the overall road noise. You know, it's nothing refined. It's a box on a frame, and it has 5 wheels. So that's kind of all it is. A pretty simple truck to be in. Hitting the brakes, you know, they work really well. Feeling out the V6. You know, it works. It does the job. So overall thoughts driving it, something you're gonna notice. You're just gonna notice this is a very, very different SUV. It's nothing like pretty much any other brand, even the Ford Bronco. You know, it's gonna be a lot more refined. With a solid front axle, you're really sacrificing the steering. So going on the road, I mean, not much happens even doing that input, and the vehicle just kind of does this. So it's a little compromising when you're on the actual pavement, but it's good enough. You know, the JL is a pretty big step up from the JK, and I like how it's at least a decent vehicle. You can daily this. Highway driving isn't my favorite in one of these. It's not bad, again, it's doable. So there, again, you know, there's those sacrifices to make, but when you hit the trails in a Wrangler, because you have that solid axle, such a small footprint in this two-doored one, I mean, you really can conquer a lot, and it just comes to life. It really turns into a completely new vehicle to where it outshines pretty much every other SUV. So while you do sacrifice on-road driving, you get something that you really can't get elsewhere aside from a Ford Bronco. You know, taking the doors off, the roof off, that is something super fun. The Bronco is a really good truck as well. It gives you awesome off-road capabilities. However, that extra 5% of people who want to do that crazy articulating off-roading, you know, a solid axle, you cannot beat that compared to the Independent. So that's where this truck really shines. But even back on the trails, definitely a nice little thing to hit the dirt with. So spinning around now to my perspective, obviously this is nothing compared to what a Wrangler can do, but at least hitting some gravel in a Jeep, you know, is something fun to do. But I've been off-roading in these, and they're amazing. The short wheelbase, especially with the two-door, I mean, this thing will really, really make you impressed with its capabilities. So my honest opinions of this is a vehicle that I can't really hate on too much, you know, because there are so many sacrifices. If this wasn't as good off-road, this would be one of the worst SUVs ever to buy, because there's so many sacrifices on road. It's a little noisy, it doesn't drive that well, it's not that fast, it's just a little weird compared to normal things. But like I said, this is an off-roader, that's what it's for, and people buying this know that. You know, people are not getting this thinking they want some luxurious, straight line, really fast handling, extra people, all that stuff. They're really getting something unique. And when you compare this with the Ford Bronco, you know, the Bronco is, I think, a better on-road car. It just feels smoother, nicer interior, better tech, I think. However, you can only go so far with the independent front suspension. So it's nice that Jeep still makes this, and they make what this is. And I think there's so many fans around this, even though this is such an old design. This has literally been out since the beginning, and they haven't really changed it technically. So it's really cool that Jeep is offering something that is as old school as it gets. I mean, this is really similar to the original military vehicle, and yet this is a brand new vehicle. And then when you compare this with the other engine options, you know, I think I kind of like either the diesel or the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo better. The V6 is a little sluggish, you know, there's a lot to be desired. However, actually the Hemi V8, that would be my favorite because you get so much horsepower, the sounds and everything. That's just a nuts engine, and it's nice that Jeep offers that. You can only get that in the 4-door, you know, it's gonna be a full Rubicon, $80,000 truck or $100,000, whatever they are. But this one is kind of more of an entry-level Jeep. It's pretty pricey for, you know, cloth seats, no locking differentials. You would think the Willys edition would have that sort of thing. So this one's kind of just paying homage to, I believe, John Willys, and I think that's his name, I can't remember. But it's kind of cool to have at least that heritage on this trim level. But my favorite thing, this turning circle. Nothing is gonna do a turn like that. And like I said, that's what you're getting with this. You're getting the most nimble, pinpointy off-roader available, and I think Jeep really knocks it out of the park with what it has to offer. So there's a full look at the 2022 Jeep Wrangler Willys edition. Really sweet Jeep inside and out. If you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content to come. And then a big shout out and thank you to Feeney, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this Jeep for today's video. They have a pretty huge inventory right now of nice Jeeps, so definitely check them out. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.